Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm John Gray, and we're just plain living here post-Easter.
Post-Easter.
Did you see that rabbit?
I did.
That rabbit hopped around all over everywhere. There were Easter eggs everywhere. They were even inside my house.
Were they really?
Yeah.
Sweet.
We got Mama Dot, who is residing in Brookdale now, and of course they've been like most places where senior citizens live. You know, they've been pretty much locked down.
I know. So they let you actually in?
we took her to church and then brought her to the house and had a Easter meal with Fran and Candy and Mama and my brother Jerry, and so we had an Easter egg hunt inside the house.
An Easter egg hunt?
Inside the house.
Y'all are so cool.
And we got these eggs that, well, they were on the set last week that you can open up, and so we put little prizes inside of them, and so we just had a lot of fun, and then we play this mindless card game that every time we're together that doesn't take a whole lot of thought to do. We just have fun, you know.
Well, I had a good day. Shannon and her husband and I went to the Bell Boca Banquet Hall, which has not been open a lot, and had a fabulous meal, a meal to do me for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so much food, I couldn't believe it. I'm glad they were open, though. It was good to see them.
Well, and things are starting to open back up, and of course we still need to be smart. Vaccinations are
going
available.
Strong. Everybody, I think, is
pretty much
can get them now. Oh, I got to tell you about Shannon and Dan's dragons. They have these big dragons up on a pole at their gate when you go into the farm there, and they had rabbit ears on them. So that was our Easter.
Rabbit dragons.
Yeah, rabbit dragons.
That's good. You know, everybody wants to be the Cadbury egg.
I think COVID is hopefully slowing down. The variant is bothering me.
Well, you know, I mean, you need to think about it in the way of what I want to know, and I've said this before, is I want to look at the deaths from COVID this year versus COVID and flu versus the deaths of just flu before COVID, because there's not been any flu cases.
Well, because they were called COVID cases.
Well, that, or because people are protecting themselves better.
Maybe so. There's
a couple of things, but no, it seems to be a lot of things are opening up. I was watching on the Today Show earlier. President of Norwegian Cruise Lines
are opening up.
Well, no, and the thing about it is, and I state this along with it, my co-writing buddy in the songwriting industry, Tim Daly, plays at Tootsie's at the airport. They have a big room at the airport, and the airports are full, wide open, people everywhere, but the same people who allow that to happen aren't allowing cruise ships. And the people who are involved in cruise ships are really upset about that.
I don't blame them.
You know, they have no cases. You know, they've got their ships clean. And Miami, I didn't realize it, Miami is the largest port for cruise ships in the world. So and Miami
they're not going out.
Miami's not allowing it. So people are having to go somewhere else
and I guess the cruise
to get a cruise.
Are losing a lot of money.
Well, of course they are.
And that's hard.
They've got those big old ships sitting there doing nothing.
Have jobs there that they can't.
That's like a farmer, you know. There are not many farmers like your dad was anymore.
And that's too bad.
You know, because the farm equipment is like buying a jet aircraft.
Oh, yeah.
You've got to farm thousands of acres to pay for the piece of equipment. There's that big boat sitting there that costs no telling how many millions, maybe even $1 billion, and it's just sitting there empty.
Sitting there going to rack and ruin.
And somebody's paying interest on that money.
Yeah. There's a lot of that.
So there's, you know, who makes the decisions and how fair is it?
And who makes the rules? It's a hard one for me because I don't like people making rules to me. you know, I feel like I've got enough rules of my own.
I
I don't
understand.
need somebody else giving me rules.
I understand.
And,
Hey, let me tell you what I did. I'm going to get Philip to put some pictures up. This past weekend was the opening of the member show at the Tullahoma Fine Arts Center, and that means people who are members of the center, numerous people
their own
didn't
art.
bring a show to fill the place, but brought 5 or 6 or 8 pieces. And between all of the different members that brought stuff, pretty much filled the art center up. And I had a table there. There I am, right there.
Cool.
And if you'll look back there, Philip, show that other picture. That right there is my box of recycled trash,
Which is interesting.
and I call it breakdown.
I like
And
it.
that's a 3 months of kitchen cardboard and a box.
But
That is the least fine art thing I believe I've ever seen in
you
my
yourself
life.
placed the stuff in the box.
Yeah, I
is
put
that
the
correct?
stuff in the box.
And then all of a sudden you looked at it and you thought, man, I've got an art piece.
I got an art piece, and I call it breakdown. It's a proper way to break down trash.
I like it.
And it was the most
Talked about.
thing there was a box of recycled trash. You know, now that is fine art, folks.
Well, it is fine art.
No, art's everywhere.
Look.
Art's everywhere you look, if you just look.
Oh yeah, it is. It's everywhere. Picasso, for instance, who can figure him out?
And Pollock, Jackson
Well, yeah.
Pollock,
Oh, and by the
takes and
way,
throws paint on stuff, and everybody goes,
Coming-
"Oh my God!"
coming to Nashville is the humongous Van Gogh exhibit. You know,
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you've read about it or
No,
not,
I haven't.
but it's not just paintings. They have the great long mirrors and paintings or
Murals
somehow.
and just
I know
huge
it's hard to
stuff.
explain, but it's a
That'd be great to go
it's
see.
a fabulous exhibit. I have read about it, and the fact that it's actually coming to Nashville is amazing.
Yeah.
Everybody, I guess it's at the Frist. I didn't even get that part. I'm sure.
But
it
you know
is.
what? The National Watercolor Society traveling show doesn't go to the Frisk, doesn't go to Atlanta. It comes to Tullahoma.
Tullahoma,
Tullahoma,
Tennessee. Isn't that
Tennessee. We
good?
had that about 2 months ago, which is outstanding. What do you think about my purple and orange?
I love it. I just think it matches up.
Isn't that? Look at here, even right there, purple and orange. And you know why? Because those are the colors of Alzheimer's, Tennessee.
yeah.
And we're getting ready on May the 8th, and Philip, you can put that slide up if you would, to have the 3rd annual Purple Olympics at Tullahoma High School.
There's all kind of things that go on at that.
Oh yeah, we have puzzles. We have 6-foot puzzles of the state of Tennessee, and the time of the counties, and it's a timed event. So the teams, it's not just about physical stuff. And we have trivia. We have a couple of trivia nights at Daddy Billy's, so that go toward that. And it's about not just physical, but it's about using your brain, because Alzheimer's is something that steals away your brain.
That is the saddest
And
disease in the
to
world.
tie together with the art, later on in the fall, Alzheimer's Tennessee is bringing a renowned doctor from down in Georgia, I believe, who's coming up here to do a show on art and your mind, and how doing art things. He's a pianist and a singer.
Lots of people that
and-
have Alzheimer's can do things they did when they were younger, like play the piano,
Sure.
stuff like that, and it's very important. That
The Notebook.
Right, the
The Notebook. She can't remember his name, but she can remember how to play the
Yeah.
piano. Sometimes.
I watch that every time it comes around.
Yeah, that's
and
great.
Because
That's
my
great.
mother had Alzheimer's, and it's the saddest disease I can.
Yeah.
A lot
But
of
you can have an
diseases are sad, but it's
opportunity to
horrible.
help by being part of the Purple Olympics, and get a team together. If you're anybody in that industry, a nursing home, a hospital, churches, if you have had Alzheimer's in your family, put a team together, and it doesn't cost anything.
Right.
It's a free event. You're asked to raise money. And in
Sure.
certain ways, some people have bake sales, some people have yard sales. Alzheimer's Tennessee has some
having a-
beautiful socks orange
yeah.
and orange and purple socks that they sell. There's all kinds of ways to raise money
T-shirts,
that you can
I'm sure they
give
have
it.
T-shirts, don't they?
T-shirts, you name it, they've got it. You call my wife Fran, and the numbers you can find Alzheimer's Tennessee, and she's in the old Shahan building right next to where Horn Strings and Things was on Jackson Street.
Yeah.
I believe it's 307, and you can stop by her office anytime and make a donation, be a volunteer. You know, what all of our nonprofits need are more volunteers.
More volunteers and more money.
And more money.
Everybody needs money.
More money.
You ought to see my mailbox every day. I get up so excited, I go to get the mail, and all I have are letters wanting money.
Want money.
Just,
More money. Everybody want
so I
money.
get my mail, and I put a lot of it in the trash.
I want more money
You
too,
more
don't
money.
you? More money. Hey, Easter.
You got a good one?
Well, this is part of my Easter omnibus, and these are the last two readings that I want to share with you, because Easter does not end
It
with the risen Lord. It's just the beginning.
Oh, okay.
And so the next thing that happens after he rises again, and this is called the Holes. Two friends walked a country road. Emmaus was their goal. On the way, they discussed the stories they were told about a prophet Jesus who died and rose for them, but lost in doubt and despair, they couldn't let him in. As they journeyed on, a stranger joined their walk. They shared doubts and fears. Then he began to talk, shared prophecies in Scripture, proclaiming Christ was real. He changed their way of thinking, so they begged him share a meal. Their eyes did not let them see that Jesus sat with them until they broke bread, bowed their heads, and prayed with him. Then their eyes were opened, as well as their hearts, and they found a new journey. They found a new start. When he said, "Can't you see the holes? Feel my hands, rub my feet. They claim my body stole. Just believe and you can see the one who hung upon the cross as God's thunder rolled, alive again as was foretold. Can't you see the holes? Now go forth and tell your friends, Jesus Christ the Savior has returned again. The salvation promised here to cleanse your souls. You can see the proof on me. Can't you see the holes? All you need is to believe. Can't you see the holes?"
Good.
And then the last piece is the crown of thorns. God's will be done through his one and only Son, offered as a Savior for all of us on earth, concealed from speculation by a virgin birth. He learned, he taught, he preached, he walked, until the healing in all he passed was done. He tested those in power, sometimes won, sometimes lost. At last he was tortured. Then he carried his own cross and was crucified at the world's darkest hour. On the third day, triumphantly, he rose again. Then above he ascended to sit at God's right hand. So the journey ended. That lets us be reborn through the suffering of the one who wore the crown of thorns. Happy
well
Easter.
done.
Happy time after Easter. He is risen, and it's time to rise as well and go out among the people and do good works. We'll be back after these messages.
Now open in Tullahoma, Parkview Senior Living, an affordable, luxurious retirement community that active seniors love to call home. We encourage a healthy, independent lifestyle with few restrictions. Abundant amenities mean you live burden-free in a beautiful, safe home with other like-minded seniors. Still enjoy friends and family, along with your supplemental healthcare needs. See for yourself how wonderful retirement can be. Tour Parkview Senior Living today.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, no, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back. I have Loretta Christian with me today, and she's talking horseplay. We're close to the luncheon, aren't we?
Yes, ma'am. The luncheon is Friday, April the 23rd. It will be at Grace Baptist Church. It's start at 10 o'clock and go until 1:30. You can call Top Rehab to order your lunch meals. And
do we have that number?
Yes, Top Rehab number is 931-455-5189. And tickets or meals are $10 a piece or $12 for $100. And
it'd be a great time to have a little family reunion and invite all your friends. And
yeah. And this year it's like last year. You can call your order in and let them know if you're going to come pick it up. And we do deliver with 5 or more orders locally. And
is that within the city limits,
yes,
sort
ma'am.
of?
Mm-hmm. And we have corn. Let's see. We have turkey and ham. We have creamed potatoes, green beans, stuffing, cranberry sauce, gravy, rolls, macaroni and cheese. And you get to pick your dessert, whether you want cake or pie. And if you order like 10 meals or 12 meals, you can say, I want 6 slices of cake and 6 slices of pie, and they can divide it up
among themselves.
Yeah. And
who makes all those cakes and pies? Is that done by the horseplay?
It's done by the volunteers of horseplay and anybody that wants to bake them. And you can deliver your pies or cakes to Top Rehab, and then Wednesday or Thursday, we'll be cutting them up, putting them in the carry-out box trays.
In case there's people that don't know, there it is. There's the phone number for Top Rehab.
Yes,
ma'am. Do they go to Top Rehab to pick up the tickets?
No, you call your order in to Top Rehab, and tell them how many meals you want, and they write it down. You tell them what time you want it.
Do they take a credit card over the phone?
You can pay by going to our website, horseplayinc.org, and go to this part where it says Giving. We have a PayPal account, and Horseplay will get 100% of all the money
that's good.
is used for the PayPal.
So they just go on the website.
Go on horseplayinc.org and go to Give on our website, and down there it'll say where you want to pay by PayPal.
Okay.
And otherwise, you make your check out to and mail it in to Top Rehab. You make your check payable to Horseplay Inc.
Okay.
And the address for Top Rehab is 2110 North Jackson Street.
Okay. It's nice of them to do that.
Yes, ma'am.
It makes it easier on you.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier.
Well, the food is always fabulous, and I encourage people to remember it's April 24th.
23rd.
See, I can't remember anything.
The 23rd.
23rd, Friday, not Saturday.
Yeah. And then we're also having on May the 15th, we're doing the first time ever open house out at Horseplay at 815 West Side Drive. We're inviting the public to come. Anybody that wants to see what we do at Horseplay is welcome to come. We're going to have a class exhibit, have 4 of our students ride in what they do in a session, so that anybody that wants to see that can see how our instructors work with the boys and girls that come out there for therapy. It's therapeutical horseback therapy.
For the people that don't know, Horseplay services the horses, and the children get to ride for free. That's why we need money.
And next year we'll be celebrating 25 years. And so what Horseplay does is we have 60 plus boys and girls. They come to ride at Horseplay. They're from Moore County, Lincoln County, Giles County, Franklin County, and Coffee County.
And what's the age limit?
3.5 to 18.
3.5 to 18, and they have to have some kind of...
all of our boys and girls either are mentally or physically challenged.
It's a wonderful opportunity. There's nothing more fun than if you can't walk, if you're in a wheelchair and you get to get on a horse and walk. It's awesome.
Yes, ma'am. These boys and girls, when they come, the ones that have been there for 2 or 3 years, when they come down the driveway coming to Horseplay, they know where they're going.
They know, and they're excited.
They're ready to get on their horses and start therapy.
The open house sounds like fun because you're going to show your new bricks.
We're going to mark off a patio size. It may not be where the patio will be going, but it's going to be measured off to size. We'll have it roped off. We will put our memorial benches out there. Some volunteer's husband made us a cedar bench. It's going to go out there.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And we're going to have plants out there so that people get an idea of what it'll look like, the size, and we will have applications for everything out there. We will serve refreshments.
Oh, good.
We'll have cookies.
Now, the trail ride, when is that?
Oh, the trail ride's not until September.
Oh, okay.
And,
so you want to wait and talk about that later?
Yes,
It just sounded exciting.
And we're also doing a horse show in July the 10th at the fairgrounds in Shepville, and it's called Horseplay Rides for Horseplay Kids, and it'll start at 4:30 at the fairgrounds.
Do the children ride? Or is this
No, this is going to be a walking horse show.
Oh, okay. I see.
And
I misunderstood.
we have sponsor levels for this, and they are a diamond sponsor is $500, a gold sponsor is $300, classes are $250, and classes is where you donate or sponsor one of the children for their classes.
Yeah.
And what that does, it helps Horseplay not have to have the full brunt of paying for everything. And then we
How many
have
years have you done
$50
that?
donation.
The horse show
This will be the first time that we've been the recipient
of all the money.
of all the money.
That's an awesome gift.
Yes, ma'am. And anyone who sponsors, they get their name put in the program book. And sometime during the horse show, it will be announced who our sponsors are, and they will be recognized by that.
That's good. And for the record, when you donate to a nonprofit, it goes off
Tax-free.
your income tax, and that's
We
you
are
people
a-
with lots of money. There's a good chance to
We are
to
a
help a wonderful
501c3.
cause.
And
we're going to have to go because we're out of time. Do you have a last minute thing you got to tell?
well, we will. The horse show is very important to us. It's going to be one of our major fundraisers this year, and
So you're probably going to have to come back and talk to us again.
Oh, I
Okay?
will,
All
next
right.
month.
Thanks, Loretta. And don't forget the 23rd of April, the
23rd
luncheon.
is the luncheon.
We'll be back. Thank you.
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family caring for your family since 1932.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
Now open in Tullahoma, Parkview Senior Living, an affordable, luxurious retirement community that active seniors love to call home. We encourage a healthy, independent lifestyle with few restrictions. Abundant amenities mean you live burden-free in a beautiful, safe home with other like-minded seniors. Still enjoy friends and family, along with your supplemental healthcare needs. See for yourself how wonderful retirement can be. Tour Parkview Senior Living today.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome to our show here in the great state of Tennessee, Tullahoma Charter TV, Channel 193 with the great Eric Mintel.
How you doing, Peggy? Good.
Believe it or not, I'm fine. Easter about killed me, but it was nice. It was peaceful and beautiful.
Beautiful. Well, you know, we're looking forward to coming back because we love Tennessee, and I know it's been a number of years since we've been there, so we're looking forward to performing for you guys again, and we've been adopted by you guys. The last time we were there, we had such great meals, and people just wanted to, like, you know, take us in. So it was great hospitality.
Well, we're thrilled to death to have you back. And after this pandemic, what a treat it will be to hear some great music.
Absolutely.
Would you like to introduce your band to the audience, sort of?
Absolutely. And I'll basically be having the same guys that were there. Let's see, when we were there in 2010, the first time, I'll have Dave Moan will be on drums. I've got Nelson Hill on alto saxophone, and I'll have Dave Antonow on electric bass. And we've been together for probably 20 years now, plus.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I know that you're going to do a tribute to the great Dave Brubeck.
Yeah.
And people out there in the world that doesn't know who that is, they need to look him up and find out what a great pianist he was and his contribution to jazz.
Yeah, not only in music, I learned a lot from Dave, not only just his music, but just the life lessons, because he was just a great guy for a number of reasons, and beyond the music. And so, yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of music of Dave's. We're going to be doing a lot of rarely heard music, maybe some newer things that Dave might not have heard, that Dave has written that a lot of people might not have heard before.
And some information and music that you've written yourself.
Oh yeah, during the COVID times here, I've written a ton of music. So yeah, we're gonna play. We're gonna play a lot for you guys.
Great, that's wonderful. I've been watching you on YouTube and Facebook and everywhere I can find you. And once in a while, you show up on my Facebook page, and it's great.
Yeah.
When did you start playing piano?
My parents could always find me at like 3 years old. I was always at the piano. We didn't have much, but we had a piano in the house that was fairly in tune most of the time. But they would always find me at the piano trying to figure out melodies and, having this great interest. And then fast forward to when I was 14, I found I was going through some records in my parents' record collection, when they were the rage. And I found an old 45 record of the Dave Brubeck Quartet with one side was Blue Rondo and the other side was Take Five. I put the music on and just immediately had this connection with the music, and I knew that's what I wanted to play. So that was 1982. So and ever since then, I've just gone full steam ahead. Learned everything I could back then on Dave Brubeck. Not only finding out what a great musician he was, but what a great human being he was too. And then I learned a lot of other things. I've listened to a lot of other players like Chick Corea, Bill Evans, Oscar Peterson, Art Tatum, all the greats, Duke Ellington. So it's just been evolving, since then.
Do you have your own personal definition of jazz?
Well, I like to use what Dave used. It's like our own personal freedom. Jazz is really the only art form left, musical art form left, that you can have that sense of freedom. And the freedom is when we improvise, because when we play for you, a lot of people say, do you guys rehearse that? And with the beautiful thing that I love about jazz is it just is spontaneous and it's on the spot. And it really depends on three things: people, places, and things. So that's where those improvisations lie. So my definition of jazz would be, absolute freedom.
I love that. That's the one genre of music that gives you that freedom.
Yeah.
I know that you have performed all over the place, twice at the White House. What a thrill that must have been.
Yeah.
And actually performed a show prior to Dave Brubeck's performance. That must have been a thrill.
Not only thrilling, but it was incredible. That was back in 2005. But, here for years, I'm playing Dave Brubeck's music and Dave and I had a correspondence and friendship from, I would say, the 90s, the early 90s, up until he passed. And so here we are playing. We opened up for Dave at the Kimmel Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And there was Dave out in the audience listening to us, smiling from ear to ear. And it was the greatest feeling.
What a thrill. I mean, for young performers that loved his music to have that opportunity. And how do you feel going to the White House?
Yeah.
Not many people have done that.
The White House was great. The first time we played there was 1993 for President Clinton. And I had said, at that point, I wanted to kind of take the group to, or 1998, yes. I wanted to take the group to another level. So I said, well, why not call the White House? Let's just go right to the top. So I had originally called and said, do you have any programs where you send musicians around to perform in any kind of positive outreach? Initially, I was thinking about, performing for troops overseas, boosting morale, performing for the homeless, some kind of positive outreach that we could use jazz with. And so I get a call 2 weeks later saying, we'd like to invite the Eric Mintel Quartet to the White House for Christmas. And it was amazing. So we played for a holiday dinner reception at the White House. And then fast forward to 2011, this is 13 years later, I was like, my girlfriend said, you should try to get to the White House again. I'm like, that was probably just a once in a lifetime deal. I'll probably never get a chance to get back there again. So I called and I said, this is Eric Mintel. I'd like to bring my group to the White House to perform. And they said, what's your availability for December of this year? And we played for Obama, for the Obama administration in 2011.
When you played for Clinton, did he drag out his saxophone?
Well, we had a saxophone ready to go for him on that day, but he couldn't play because he was in too much, greeting people, and it was that kind of thing. He was a very busy day, but he did take the time out. And we got a chance to meet him at the end of our set. And I had said, and I gave him a CD we had at the time, and I said, Mr. President, you and I have a mutual friend in Dave Brubeck. And he had just given Dave Brubeck the National Medal of the Arts Award about a couple of months prior. And then same thing with Obama. I said, Mr. President, we have a mutual friend in Dave Brubeck. And he had said that, Dave Brubeck was the very first concert I went to see with my dad when I was a kid. So lots of great connections.
That is fabulous, Eric. Yeah. I know that you're interested in educating young people in the value and the beauty of jazz. And what sort of things are you doing now to foster the love of education?
Yeah, I mean, the main thing is really getting the students an awareness of jazz. When we go to high schools and elementary schools, colleges, the musicians in there are incredible. If they have a great music program, it's amazing. And the teachers, hopefully are teaching them, the rudimentary, foundation of jazz. And so when we go there, we're lucky that we get to play with some of the, more advanced students sometimes, and sometimes not. Sometimes we have to kind of mold that situation a little bit. And I always say that Nelson is our scholar in the group, because he has a great lesson plan that we follow when we go into these schools, and we teach, talk about different scales. We talk about the different rhythms in jazz, the different instrumentation in a jazz setting, the communication in jazz, which is really important, because jazz, it's sometimes it's not about the music, it's about listening. Well, actually, it's all about listening, really. The idea is, jazz, there's a set of rules that you have to learn in jazz, and then the idea is to forget those rules, because you will have known them so good over so many years. You don't have to worry about that anymore, but you're still creating. So when we go into schools, it's great. We play for the students a little bit, and then talk about the foundations of jazz. And the kids are like sponges. They are so absorbed, and so many times I've had this happen where we've come into a college or university or even elementary school or high school, and the students will start their own jazz band together, because they've already got core musicians together that they're working with in the classes. And then they decide, hey, let's try something on our own. And that to me is really satisfying too, where, they're so inspired at that point to try something. Jazz is not for the faint of heart, believe me. It's a tough way to make a living. But if you do it right, you can make your living in so many different ways. Teaching, studio work, on the road, like what we do a lot of times. you know, I sacrificed the wedding gigs. You know, I didn't want to do weddings, and I didn't want to do all that kind of stuff because I wanted to create, you know. So, you know, here we are 30 years later.
Have you been writing songs all your career?
Yeah, mostly. I mostly write a lot for the group, and early on, yeah, I wrote a lot of tunes. You know, when I was younger, and I mean, we still play a lot of tunes that, you know, we have 13 or 14 CDs out, and we still play some tunes from those CDs that I wrote tunes, you know, 15, 16 years ago. And even when I was a kid, I still have like little manuscript paper of like some of the stuff that I've written.
Well, some people think that jazz is never written down, but George Gershwin, of course, he wrote his music down. And so you write yours down. You don't make it exact, or do you make it exact?
That's a really good question. And you know what? What I do is I will basically give the guys a chart, what we call a chord chart. And it'll just basically have the chords of that tune that I have in my mind that they can follow, the chords. And then later on, I'll either write the melody down, or Nelson will fill in the melody. And like I said, Nelson is incredible that way. And he was right out of Eastman University, went right on the road with Maynard Ferguson.
Oh,
so
wow.
That's why we call him the Great Nelsando. But a lot of times they'll follow like a chart. And then what happens with that is when we play, and the more we play that tune, the more that song evolves over time. So it may not be the same when we start, but as we play it, it becomes, we have just some different rhythms that go in there, and everybody adds their own, you know, style into it, which I think is the greatest thing in the world in a group where you have so many different ideas that could come into a song. Whereas I'm not the one that's saying that, oh, this is how we're going to play it, you know. I get everyone's ideas involved, and it's a beautiful situation.
And do you find yourself turning any melody you hear that you like into a jazz piece?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I'm one of those guys that like, I could hear like a melody on TV and immediately I'll think, that would be kind of a cool jazz tune.
This.
Or a lot of times, sometimes I'll come home from a gig and, you know, we will have just played and I'll have little pieces of music that'll be in my mind from what we just did. And then I'll think of different ways of, you know, maybe that could be a tune. That could be that little piece of, you know, something could turn into a song. So it comes from different areas. So yeah, it's all about listening.
I had wondered does a different frame of mind cause you to play differently that night and add and improvise in a different way?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's environment is everything. Yeah. You know, we have a good audience, we have a great audience cheering us on, we're going to play differently. If we have an audience that thinks we're a symphonic, like a symphony, you know, concert where they don't clap in between, you know, solos or something like that, then we think, whoa, something's wrong here. Right. So we always like the audience involved in what we're doing. We always get the audience involved too. But yeah, frame of mind, that's a good question too, because there is. I'm a pretty positive guy, so anytime we get a chance to play and I could hear everything and everybody's having a good time, I'm having a good time. So
I think that's typical.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it because it's an energetic sort of thing.
And jazz is positive. Yes, jazz is very positive music.
I need to remind the public of is that you're going to be in Tullahoma, Tennessee at the South Jackson Civic Center April 30th. The concert starts at 7:30. We're so excited to have you come to our.
That's going to be great. I can't wait to come in. This will be our third time back.
I know, and we're looking forward to some new stuff.
Oh yeah, you're going to get a lot.
And it's going to be a wonderful event, and we encourage students. I encourage students because I'm afraid that we're not getting enough jazz into our community, our community here in Tullahoma and around Middle Tennessee. However, it's a big thing with people that love it, and you'll learn to love it if you show up at the concert.
Absolutely. I would encourage people to show up because they're never going to hear this kind of jazz again. because what we'll do, that particular performance that night is going to be unique to that time and place. So it'll, and then another time we play, it'll be different. So we're going to come, lots of tunes, lots of energy, lots of humor. We're going to be having a good time. And this is fun jazz. People aren't familiar with jazz. I've always gotten, after our concerts, people have said, I never really understood jazz or even really liked jazz before, but I like your music. And it tells me one thing. It says that the way we're presenting it, the way you present something to the public and the way we're doing it and embracing people and having a good time, I think they feel that. And that makes them think, hey, there's another type of music here that kind of makes me feel good and energized. I'm going to go and check it out. So that's very satisfying.
I love the art of improvisation and originality. And of course, there is a sort of form to it. It's not that it's a sense of freedom that you don't get anywhere else in music.
Exactly.
All right. We are looking forward to April 30th. For tickets, 931-455-5321. And we're anxious to see you, Eric, and your group. And
we're going to have a good time.
Okay.
We're going to have a good time. And we love that facility there. It's amazing. You guys are doing incredible work there. And folks, I can't tell you enough what these guys are doing. I mean, Peggy has been on me like every day, getting stuff so they're getting the work, getting the job done. And we love working with forward-thinking people because you guys are doing great stuff for the arts. So that's why. And the more we could spread the word up here, the better.
Great. Thanks for the interview. Great seeing you.
You got it. Good to see you. And we'll see you on the 30th.
All right. Bye.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Partners for Healing provides medical care to the working uninsured of Coffee, Franklin, and Moore counties. We are in Tullahoma from 8 to 5, Monday through Thursdays, and in Manchester on Fridays from 8 to 12. We provide primary medical care and offer an in-house disease management program.
My name is Rosie Mitchell, and I would just like to say I am blessed to have partners in my life.
Please call 455-5014 for more information. Thank you for being one of our Partners for Healing.
Hello, this is Janie Price. When my husband Ray Price would tour across the country, his favorite place to dine was Cracker Barrel Old Country Store locations. His favorite thing to order was the Uncle Herschel.
And the beauty of it all is forever, you'll be holding me to.
I miss Ray dearly, and I'm so proud that his last album, Beauty Is the Final Sessions, is available at his favorite restaurant.
A love affair.
The project includes a duet with Martina McBride and harmony vocals from Vince Gill. Ray believed this to be the best recording he had ever made.
Oh, I wish I was 18 again.
I think you'll agree when you pick up your copy of Beauty Is the Final Sessions at a Cracker Barrel Old Country Store location near you or at crackerbarrel.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Come fly with me, let's fly away. Be kind of hard on this little plane right here. Look at there. can't fly on that, but you guys can fly with them, can't you?
Yeah. Yes,
it's airfoiler time.
It is.
You know
the summer's here.
Tell us about it.
It's that time of year again. Flyaway Cancer, April 17th. It's our flyaway to donate money to Multi-County Cancer Network.
Good cause.
Good cause. It's our third year. It should have been our fourth, but we got canceled last year because of the COVID.
Yeah.
To date, we've raised almost $10,000, and every red cent of it goes to them.
Right.
So we don't keep any of it. Everything is donated. So we're going to try again this year. I think it's going to be pretty good. We got Jefferson's food truck will be there for the day for concessions. A lot of raffle stuff. A lot of people going to be there. I think everybody wants to come out and have fun.
Well, people are ready.
They're ready.
And y'all, what y'all do is perfect because you're in a big field. You're open. There's plenty of room for people who might be concerned still.
Social distancing.
You can social distance instead of 6 feet. You can have 60 feet.
You got 40 acres. You can do whatever you want.
You can have all the footage you need.
We got plenty of room for everybody.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of good flying out there. We've got a lot of people coming out to fly. Everything. There's no restrictions on what we're going to fly. We're going to have helicopters and planes and 3D airplanes, and might even have some control line flying, and might even launch a rocket or two. We don't know yet.
I think I got some guys coming down from Chattanooga. They should have the jets. So hopefully they show up. Yeah. They're radio controlled jets, turbines running on actual fuel. So they're pretty cool to watch. If you've never seen one come out, it's a rush. A couple hundred miles an hour, yeah, it's a trip.
Come down across the deck, about 8 foot off the deck in front of everybody, doing 200 miles an hour plus.
It's a thing to see if you've never seen it.
How, from somebody whose mind doesn't get wrapped around that real good, how far afield do those things go? I mean, when they're flying.
How much do they need, or how far?
Yeah, how much do they need?
Well, it's line of sight. They got to keep it in view.
You got to know what you're doing. They said our field has plenty of room for bailout. So if they have a flame out, they've got a place to go and land. Some of the other ones don't. So our 40-acre field with the trees that we got is plenty for them. They wouldn't want much smaller because they need a lot of room. You lose a lot of ground at 150 miles an hour.
Oh, no kidding.
I've got one plane that does about 150, and it's hard to keep up with. So you need some real estate, and you got to be quick. And I'm getting older. I'm not that quick anymore.
So he went like this. So those are control here, thumbs, fingers,
radios,
like a video game.
Kind of, yeah.
But it's real.
It's real.
It's a real video game.
You don't push the red button to reset. No.
You know, I look at. I'm a fan of the Pickers show, and of course they were here in Tullahoma at our family business a couple months ago, and I noticed from time to time they buy these tether cars.
Oh yeah.
Which are a high dollar item, and those things you're talking about the same thing, except having it on a track, and these things are running 100 plus.
Yeah, they're fast.
So you're doing that, except you're doing it up in the air.
Right.
And
you lose control. It just keeps going.
Maybe it'll hit a tree.
We lost one plane.
We lost one headed towards the water tower from our field. We never saw that one again.
Yeah, it's over there somewhere. So if anybody finds it, return it to the field. And I think we're going to have our training program has started too. So
good.
I believe we're going to have our trainers out there, so if anybody wants to learn how to fly, they're going to try and schedule some stuff, and that's all free.
So that puts me in mind, two things puts me in mind. You're talking about rockets, that movie I saw, older movie, but I've seen it a couple of times. I'd never seen it before. What is it, Rocket Boys?
Yeah.
About these young
Sky.
Huh?
October Sky.
Yeah, these young boys who end up trying to make this rocket, and they're blowing stuff up all over town until they finally get it right. When you're talking about training, how many do you have? A lot of when that happens, do you have younger people that come out?
Well, I just was out there Saturday, and I had a 10-year-old.
Yeah, I met him.
I was teaching to fly. He did pretty good. He got 3 flights in Saturday. Did some work on the simulator. We do have a simulator out there set up, which we'll probably have set up.
Yeah, we'll have
that
a simulator set up too.
So it's a computer screen, and you've got the regular controller, but it's you're controlling the screen. So you get some stick time that way. And then we'll have our instructors out there, so we'll have the training planes out there. We'll be able to take people up, give it a try. All you got to do is know up, down, left, right, and be able to listen, and we can get you up there.
That's the key.
Listen is the real key, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
As soon as you turn around and come back toward yourself, that's when everything changes. So if you're new, now left is right, right is left, so it gets a little confusing. That's why we
sort of like this television screen.
And what we do is
everything's back.
we take you up to where it's like 3 mistakes high, we call it.
Yeah, we'll take off, get in the air, and then we let you fly. But we have control, so if something happens, we'll take it away from you.
Now, how many young people do you have that take advantage of these things?
Well, there were 2 out there this Saturday.
I think 2 years ago we had about 15 or 20, I think.
Yeah.
Now, do you find that their ability to play video games helps them at all?
Oh, immensely.
It's easier
doing
to teach
this?
a kid than it is an adult.
I would imagine
and the hardest
so.
person to teach is a pilot. A real pilot is the hardest to teach.
Yeah,
because they already know everything.
No, because they've got no seat of the pants feel anymore. They can't feel anything. So it's all
I guess that's
sight,
right. Yeah.
So it's easier for us to learn how to fly a real plane rather than a real pilot learn how to fly a model. So.
Do you fly?
I've been in a couple of planes and I've had control. It wasn't that difficult, but I haven't landed.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of rules and a lot of things there's a lot of study goes into that.
A lot of stomach feel too. So if you're a little queasy, that's my problem. I get a little queasy.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to hate to ride to Knoxville.
Okay, up on the screen right now it says my website I put together, flyawaycancer.com. Anybody wants to go there, you can register to fly for the event. Pre-registration's on there. I've got a live silent auction. So right now, 2 of the biggest things up there, I've got a flight from a friend of mine donated a flight. You can bid on it there. It's already up to like $150. You can fly in his custom plane that he's got in Shelbyville. I've got another company here in Tullahoma that's starting a foundation for youth to get them into aviation. He's
wonderful.
He's donated a Discovery flight. You can bid on that, but it's only for youth, anybody up to 18.
Right.
And then Eric Bajorn, one of our members, is a instructor at Skydive Tennessee, and he's donated a tandem jump that you can jump with him here in Tullahoma, and you can bid on that too. And I've got more to put up on there, so it'll be up there pretty quick.
All right, so again, when's the event?
April 17th, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
All right. Thank you for what you do, guys.
Thank you.
It's a whole nother side of the aviation part of Tullahoma. You know, not every little town has a field like this.
No, they don't. Not as nice as ours. That's
yeah. So thanks for doing what you do, and of course that brings people into our town.
It does. It really does.
When you have an event like this, people come from all around in the other towns because they don't get to do that at home.
What was it, 2 weeks ago we had people from one end of the United States?
2 weeks ago we had
that's great.
74 flyers out there doing extreme flight.
500 people total maybe.
Yeah.
It was big.
And we had people as far away as Montana, Colorado, Florida, New York, New Jersey.
And they're buying gas and they're eating food, and some of them are probably staying in a hotel.
Yeah, they're staying in a motel, plus they're camping at our field.
Camping at the field
at the
and
restaurants.
Doing business in Tullahoma because of what you guys are doing out there. Thanks.
Yeah, it's fun.
Appreciate you.
We've got a lot of events coming up this year.
Good. Everybody's ready.
Coming this year.
And this is like I said, you need 6 feet. You can have 60 feet.
Yep. Coffee
You can have 600 feet.
CoffeeAirFoilers.com. Go there and all right.
Bring your lawn chairs out. Bring your blankets out. Bring your sunglasses.
There you go.
Sunglasses.
Be fun. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
We'll be back after these messages.
I had a knee replacement, so they've got me in life care, which I'm very, very thankful for. I couldn't garden, I couldn't do my flower beds, I can't chase my little dogs. I have been in several therapy sessions for knees and back. And that's the best therapist I believe I've ever been to. It's tremendous because I'm able to walk again, but if it wasn't for the care, I wouldn't be where I am.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
The individuals with dementia, those with Parkinson's, those that have maybe mobility issues, need caregivers. Well, those caregivers are 24 hours a day at home, and they never get a rest. And if they have to go to work, they're kind of out of luck. So that's why Trinity came into existence 25 years ago, to allow the caregivers to have a safe center where they could put their loved ones, know they would be well cared for, stimulated, fed good nutritious meals, have activities to their level, and then the caregiver can stop by and pick them up and go on home and have some continuity into their life.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. It's a Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, folks, we're back, and things just keep getting better about all the stuff you can do in Tullahoma because Lyle Russell is here with Tullahoma Parks and Rec, and the gates are open.
It is. I mean, when it's drought, there's nothing, but when it rains, it pours, and we've got a lot of things now that the restrictions have been relaxed a little bit as far as COVID goes, so we've got a lot of programs coming, pretty hot and heavy here.
Well, what we got? Tell us.
Well, the first one that we have it's actually our second annual. We've partnered up with Master of Ceremonies here in Tullahoma, and they are going to bring out all of not all of them, but a good majority of their bounce houses. And
I guess that's this stuff.
That is. We call it the dehibernation celebrations. Everybody's been in the house all winter, and you're bored and tired, and kids are running rampant, and they need to get some energy out. So, we worked with Walt over there to come up with this event. And the last one we did was inside. We did it inside the community center. And what's funny is the week that we did that, the following week is when COVID hit and we closed. So this was the last event we did before.
And now
COVID.
It's going to be the first.
And now it's going to be the first one that we're going to do now that we're back open again. So
now where will this be set up?
So we're going to do this one outside. We're going to do this at Wagner Park. There's two entrances. So there's the main one by the baseball fields, and then the far one is called the Industrial Boulevard entrance,
right,
where the driver's license office is. So there's a pavilion over there with a small playground, and we've got plenty of power and stuff over there. So we're going to have, I don't know how many he's bringing, but I'm going to guess 10 to 12 bounce houses, and Crazy Daisies is going to come over with the food truck and get everybody fed, and so it'll be a lot of fun. We're looking forward to it. Bring the kids and the family, bring your picnic blankets and whatever you want out in the park, and just come out for a fun day.
Have you ever had her chips?
I have. I've eaten there a few times.
She makes her own chips.
Yes, and they're good.
Oh, they're good.
And as you can tell, I don't need any more of them.
Me, I've got a pair of dark pants on to hide my pandemic pounds.
I need a dehibernation diet is what I need. But yeah, so she's coming over. You know, we really appreciate Master of Ceremonies. They do this for free. They're bringing all this stuff out for us just as a thank you to the community for all of the.
Isn't that wonderful?
The good things. Yeah, and it's an honor for us to partner with folks like that who want to do those things to give back to the community.
I want to ask you a question off the subject because I didn't go out. There for a while there was a huge Easter egg hunt out there.
Well, there's
at Wagner Park. Did that happen this year?
Yeah, so
with thousands and thousands and thousands of Easter eggs.
Yeah, locally this year there was two. Glicken Woods Dentistry does one every year.
One,
and they do that independent of us. That's one of their give back events.
Sure.
But they do it in our park, and then also the
Joe Denby used to do a huge one.
And the second one for that this year was at South Jackson. That was just this past weekend.
Right.
So I don't know if that one's going to be an annual event yet. We had a very small role in it.
Probably so. Well, it's your property.
Yeah, if it is, I guess. I mean, we'll have some role in it.
Other than the inside of the building, the city owns all of it.
That's true. That's true.
It's park.
Yeah.
City Park, City Square. It was to be the City Square.
You know, I've said this before. You know, when you're in the recreation business and you can't recreate, it's pretty depressing. So we are happy. You know, we love to see events like that going on, whether it's ours or someone else's. We just love to see activity going on, especially outside. So we're very happy to host those kind of events. There's a procedure for it. You just come down and talk to us, and if you got an event you want to do, we're happy to help you host it. Just come and see us, and we'll talk about it.
What else you got here?
So Lunch and Learn is returning this month.
Very good.
We are changing the day, though. It's now going to be the last Friday of the month, each month.
Okay.
But you know, our very first speaker back, almost coming up on 5 years ago now, was Dr. Bradley.
Right.
And we decided that since this is our first one back after a long layoff, he's going to come back and speak again.
Good.
And
smart
with
man.
A relevant topic, though, pandemics in the United States. He's going to do a little historical perspective on other pandemics that we've had and lived through. So we thought that would be a good one to come back to.
There have been numerous.
There have been. Surprisingly, this is not the first time we've gone through something like this.
You know, I told my wife, I said, honey, we're talking about the corona and the COVID. Well, I don't know how much money Corona beer paid to get for them to quit calling it the coronavirus. But we human beings are a culmination at this point of all the viruses that we've had since we crawled out of the ocean.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And you never know what this virus what next surge that it might bring in the human being 100 years from now.
Right.
You know, so because
exactly
we lived through numerous viruses and there'll be more.
Oh yeah. This won't be the last one, I'm sure.
I think they say that a virus can live inside of a stone in space. I mean, really, you know, the bacteria can live on an asteroid, and an asteroid lands on Earth, and all of a sudden there's a virus that's never been here before. So.
Right, and then they're drilling in the ice in the Antarctic. They're getting down.
Oh yeah.
300 million years old ice, and I'm thinking, did you see Jurassic
do you
Park?
really want to do that?
Because that's how you get Jurassic Park. You just don't drill there.
But
they do it anyway.
Really want to do that?
But that's not my profession, so I'll let them.
So we got Dr. Bradley talking about pandemics. And what else we got?
Yeah, so Dr. Bradley's going to be here in April, and then we reached back out to the speakers that we already had lined up last year that we had to cancel. And fortunately, everybody said, "Yeah, I'm ready to do it." So we've got Jack Carman is going to come in May, and he's written a Tennessee wildflower book, and he's going to talk about how those plants were used in the Civil War for medicinal purposes.
Right.
And some of them, obviously are still around today. So that one will be really interesting.
That's right down your alley, isn't it?
Well,
you're a bug guy too.
Yeah, a little bit. Bugs, birds, and plants, trees. I like that kind of stuff. But out of all the ones that I've been asked about from the time we started this program, everyone always wants to know about edible plants. And so,
Jack's going to tell you.
Yeah, Jack's going to tell you. So
he's a great photographer.
He is. I've seen some of his work. I've not read his book, but I've seen some of his
great
work, and
photographer.
he's a really nice guy. We're looking forward to
He
that.
and Bob Couch were great big buddies.
Were they?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, big buddies.
Well, good. Well, then you should come down in
I
May.
probably will. And women's suffrage?
Yeah, Marianne Scott, is a well-known face around town, has put together a program where she actually talks about Tennessee's role as the breaking vote in women's suffrage, giving women the right to vote, and she does this program in character as somebody who lived in that time and experienced this. And I have not personally seen it, but I've talked to a few that have.
She did that during that suffrage month.
Yes.
And we did it over at the park by the baseball field.
Yes.
And the day she did it, I mean, it was right in the hot throes of COVID, and I think there was about 15, 20 people there. But it's a very, very well done program.
Yeah, well, March is the anniversary for that, and we had her scheduled in March when COVID hit.
Right.
So that was going to be the next one. So March we couldn't do this year, but we were able to get her to agree.
Yeah,
to come
she
back
does. She does a great job.
So she can.
As do you.
No, well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
It's always fun to have you here, and Parks and Rec is wide open, folks. So
come down and see
I'm
us.
sure there'll still be a rule or two that
yeah, and we've got lots of jobs
play.
open right now. So if you're looking for a position, full-time and part-time, come see us. We've got lots of things to do.
That's great.
So, yeah.
I'd love to work for you.
Come on down.
Oh well,
I'll put you to work.
I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can physically do what you'd want me to do.
Yeah, we can give it a shot. Anyway.
All right, I'm like an old tumblebug. I just roll slow.
That's all right.
All right, folks, go see him at Parks and Recs. Go see this guy. He's a champion. We'll be right back after these messages. Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the paint. Uh-oh. I just knocked a tree over. This is the paint doctor. I got the color wheel. Now, you know what a color wheel is? It is the wheel at the paint works where you pick all your colors to paint your room. It could be a multicolored beard. It could be a underarm fan. You never can tell. One thing we do know is that it's time to paint. You can make your wife very happy if you go to your house and paint some rooms, or you paint the outside of the house, the inside of the house. It makes them feel very good because you work hard for them and they like that. All women like to see their man sweat. They do. Honeydew is what they do. And you get to do it too. So you go to the Paint Works at 1960 North Washington Street and you see David Heikkinen over there, and he's the real paint doctor. He fix you up with color. It's so nice when the color is right. Go to Paintworks today. Martin Senor. See? Martin Senor. Right there. Martin Senor at the Paintworks. Bye, and we see you next time. I'm burning up.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back. I've spent years looking for a man with a plan, and today I think I've found one. I'd like to introduce Marty Gordon, and he is here with the most fantastic idea. You're going to know why we started this today, because an event is coming up in September that you're going to need to know about. You want to take it away?
I'm excited. I really am, Peggy.
That's great.
Thank you so much.
It's the American Mule Bluegrass Festival.
Right. We started an LLC, American Mule and Bluegrass Festival. It's going to be held September the 13th through the 18th of this year at the Calsonic Arena in Shelbyville, Tennessee. We've got the showgrounds in a Champions Arena and a warm-up arena, and we plan to have a lot of mules and a lot of bluegrass.
Who doesn't love a mule? You know,
Well,
you have
the
little
mule-
ones and big ones, and
That's
every
right.
mule available.
The mules have pulled us out of a lot. They pulled us out of the Great Depression.
All right.
They've been involved in every war, and they're going to be pulling for charity now.
And they're smart.
That's right.
They're very
They
smart.
are smart.
Well, I know that there is so much going on that I could hardly get it all in my head. A big event that is happening is the Rhonda Vincent concert.
Yes.
So what night is that?
She'll be there Thursday night from 7 to 9.
And if I'm not mistaken, tickets are for sale right now.
Right. They are online.
So how do they get a ticket?
They go to
right there.
They go to our website, AmericanMuleandBluegrassFestival.com, and you can order them PayPal, or you can send a check to the address on the website. We'll take it either way.
Well, what impressed me is you can see the whole week for $45.
$45 to get you all week.
And if you get the ticket early, you get to see Rhonda Vincent. Is that correct?
Correct.
And I would say you better get your ticket early.
Yes, we expect it to sell out. It's a limited time. It's $45, and you can pet a mule for 5 days and see Rhonda Vincent on Thursday night.
I love that. Rhonda Vincent is the Queen of Bluegrass, right?
That's right. She's the Queen of Bluegrass and just got inducted to the Grand Ole
To the
Opry.
Grand Ole Opry. And that's wonderful. And she's local almost.
She lives in Mount
Juliet. And so if we can get her down here, we'd just love it. Well, tell us about some of the activities that maybe children would be interested in.
That's great. We have a learning center for kids, and we want them to have the opportunity to become a junior mule skinner.
I like that.
So they will learn how to hook up a mule. They will learn the implements that the mule pulls, and they will be able to learn how to brand a piece of wood and take it home with them. There will be some roping classes that they can learn to rope, and they'll get a certificate that will guarantee them they're a junior mule skinner.
Who thought that up? That is so fantastic, because every little person in the world is going to want to do that. Is there an age limit on that?
Well, the kids 6 and under get in free.
Okay.
It's not an age limit on the kids that want to become a junior mule skinner. I don't have an age limit, but we want everybody to participate.
So everybody that wants to can participate.
Right.
And I know there's going to be vendors of all kinds.
Yes, we have.
Food vendors, so you don't have to bring food. You go buy it all there.
Right.
It'll be, I don't know what all is going to be, the food wagons, but
we're still
I'm
working
sure
that out. We're reviewing the food vendors.
I'm sure there'll be plenty.
Right.
There's some good things going on in Shelbyville. I love the petting zoo.
That's correct. We plan on having a petting zoo on Friday and Saturday.
And that's from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Yes.
So, and some of the animals in the petting zoo, do you know?
Highlander cattle.
Oh.
And
Well, wait. I said, but I don't know what Highlander cattle is.
Well, they're long-haired cattle, and they're real short.
They're not the one that has the horns?
They have little short horns, and they're real short. They're not very big.
Yeah.
And we got some llamas, and we got some donkeys.
That's awesome.
And
llamas.
we got some mules.
So, maybe a goat or two, just
Yes,
for fun?
there's goats and sheep, too.
I always use a goat.
Right.
I
yeah,
love
we've got a
goats.
number of things that the kids will be interested in petting.
And the wagon train enticed me. Tell me about the wagon train. Do people get on it and ride on the wagon train, or is it just something they watch?
So here's what's happening. We've got a 2-day wagon train. On Tuesday and Wednesday, this wagon train, with people that own wagons and mules, will be in the wagon train and go out to Wartrace and back and to Bell Buckle and back Tuesday and Wednesday. We have a chuck wagon cooking dinner when they come back.
Oh, good.
They'll be involved in a chuck wagon cook-off.
That sounds like fun.
The wagon trains, what we're doing right now, Peggy, is preparing for next year. 2022, we want to set the world record's longest wagon train.
Oh my goodness.
So these 2 days will be preparation for that next year.
For next year.
Yes, ma'am. And we want to get as many wagons as we can. We've got 350 campsites
to
to accommodate, to rent for these people
coming
to come.
all over the world.
Right. That's right. We're getting calls right now from Kentucky.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, you got bluegrass going every day.
Bluegrass
Is that true?
Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night.
Okay.
And outside stage on Saturday and inside stage every night.
Every night.
And then we will have a Wednesday or Tuesday night movie night, so you can drive your wagon instead of drive your car. You can drive your wagon.
Do you have a certain movie you're going to show?
Well, Jerry and I are talking about it. We don't know which movie to pick right now. We got some good ones.
Yeah, it'll be a western, I guess.
It may be. We talked about Seabiscuit. We talked about Secretariat.
Those are all great
good
ones and a good idea. I know that you're having people that are looking for money.
Sponsorship.
Sponsors.
Yes.
Well, I can come up with what I wanted to say.
Right.
The sponsors. Are you still looking for more sponsors?
Yes.
So tell people how they can become a sponsor.
We're making an opportunity through our charities to become a sponsor at all different levels. And we're in contact with a number of corporations now in Bedford County and outside of Bedford County that want to be a part of this.
Do we need to give people an idea of how much the sponsorships cost?
Well, they go from $15,000 to $500 for $100.
Okay, so you can get
all levels.
Use all levels of sponsorship, and I know that different organizations are getting some of the funds. Is that correct?
All this is because of charity. There's 5 charities involved here, and all the profits will be split with the charities at the end of the program. The charities are going to help do the logistics and to support the whole event.
So
and we've got the charities that we have listed right now is Horseplay in Tullahoma.
Right.
They're the one that's going to be highlighted on Thursday night.
Good.
The therapeutic riding
program. That's a great night to be highlighted.
Yes, it is.
That's the night of Vincent.
Right. We have on Wednesday night the charity is Shelbyville Soup Kitchen and the Cancer Foundation.
Okay.
They'll be highlighted on Wednesday night. Thursday night is a horseplay. And then Friday night, the Boys and Girls Club of Bedford County.
Good.
And Saturday, the Center for Family Development.
That's a wonderful group, and they all will be appreciative. And they get their money according to how many hours they work.
Exactly.
I know you said it was split between everybody, but it's split in a fair way.
Right.
Whoever participates and does the. All right, people need to understand to get tickets to go to that website, and you can pay online. I'm sure you'll find out exactly how to pay when you go on that line to get
you can do it on
your
PayPal,
information. Yeah.
Or you can send a check to the address on the website.
Well, we're right at the end of our talk, so whatever you want to say, let's give the dates again. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 is Saturday.
Right.
A whole week. And if you buy your ticket ahead of time, it's $45.
Right.
I think
and you
that's
get to
amazing.
see Rhonda Vincent.
I'm afraid next year it's going to be $400.
Well, this is a special deal.
That's a lot to see.
It is.
I think it's exciting.
I'm excited about it too.
I'm excited for you. We will be back. Maybe you'll come back with us with something.
My great-grandfather started it in 1900, and now it's 2020, which is 120 years. We still measure your feet, still try to help you find a good fit. We're just a good old-fashioned shoe store where we'll measure your feet, make sure you're in the right size, and help you find a comfortable shoe for men, women, and children.
We're gonna fit your style. We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
Ah, the glory days. Running to daylight on the gridiron and chasing a ball with a mind of its own. Cheering the team to victory and marching to the beat of your own drum. Memories that last a lifetime. But sometimes we're reminded of our glory days in ways we'd rather forget. Get back in the game.
The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live and play well.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, we're back, and Peggy,
I want to mention one thing. Saturday at 11 o'clock until 1, songwriting again at South Jackson in the Annex with Randy Fincham.
Randy Fincham, I might see if I can sneak over there
You
to
want to
that.
go because it
I
it
want
went
to be a
really
bug
well.
on the wall.
This is the second and last session of his bit right now. So anyway, they had
Very
some
good.
people.
And don't forget the member show at the Arts Center all during the month of April. And don't forget May 8th, the third annual Purple Olympics at Tullahoma High School.
Right, and don't forget April 30th with the great Mintel and his quartet from Pennsylvania. We did the
Dave Brubeck.
Oh yeah, the Dave Brubeck. Well, that's not all he's playing.
Yeah, but
He
it's
plays
sort
lot
of a
stuff.
tribute to Dave
I was sorry
Brubeck.
I didn't ask him about his Charlie Brown show. They do at Christmas. They do something with Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, you know, we're very appreciative that you choose to spend time with us, and tell all your friends to tune us in, because you know, after watching today's show, you realize we put a lot of information out there.
I know, and the Chevrolet event coming up sounds fabulous. There's
The Link, Channel 6, The Link, Local Information Network.
Right. And 193 if you want to
193,
tune in.
Channel 193.
I think
and
so.
we also have a YouTube page, and we're on Facebook, so you can just watch us around the world.
If you have Charter TV, it's 193. Is that correct?
Right, 193 on Charter.
Okay.
And but then we're also on.
I guess we gotta say
this show
goodbye.
is also on Light Tube as well.
We've got
So
Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat coming up.
Yeah, my
very
son
soon.
Jacob is
I know.
he's the Pharaoh.
He's the man.
He's the Pharaoh.
Yeah.
All right, folks. We'll see you next time. Thank you.